Your space. Good morning if you're just jumping in on Facebook and YouTube. Welcome to our movement session, focusing a little bit more on movement today and strength, but we'll start off with some flexibility and some stretching as well. Let me jump on the other camera. Let's start with taking your feet a little bit wider, so go shoulder and a half width apart, but again making sure that you're not putting any overstress in the hips here. A little bit lower in the hips, so you're just dropping a little bit lower in the hips, gliding side to side, keeping the hips parallel or keeping the pelvis parallel to the ground, so we're not dropping out like this. This is what we can be a common error that we make when we're doing this movement. So just gliding side to side. And then we'll put in, as you're gliding side to side, the knocking. Keep that spine long. And you really get a sense now when you've gone a little bit wider that you're using the legs, you're using the ground a little bit more. Keep the head balanced on top of the spine as well. Just watch that the head isn't falling forward. So keep that neck lengthened, spine lengthened. And you're literally just glancing side to side. Breath is easy. If you start to get out of breath, just slow it down, just take a rest. Feel your feet in contact with the ground, how you use the ground, your legs. And then just gradually slow it down, take your time. Slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. And then just walk the feet in a little bit. Hips back a little bit more, knees bent. Let's just go into spinal cord breathing. So tilting the pelvis so you're spilling out the front and lifting chest, heart to the sky. And then curling up into a little ball. Really following the breath with this one. So nice slow breaths, but not to the extent that you're getting out of breath or breathing too much. Quiet breaths as well, in and out through the nose. Let's do a couple more. And take a rest when you're ready. Just letting your breath settle. We're just easing into it. We're just getting ourselves mobilized a little bit. Go a little bit wider again on the feet. So again, just to a comfortable width on the feet there. Hips glide back, just resting gently on the thighs. Again, I'm not putting a lot of weight down there, I'm just resting gently on the thighs. Gliding again, hips or pelvis parallel to the ground. And then we just do a little bit of moving the body like a river. Imagine you've got a big tail, you're swooshing the tail. Breath is just natural, just in and out through the nose. You don't have to think about how you're breathing. And really get a sense of the spine, that movement through the spine, that lateral movement through the spine. And feel the strength of the legs. And using the ground. And then just as and when you're ready, slowing it down. Take your time here just to slowly come up to standing. No rush to come up to standing. And then walking your feet back in, giving your legs a little bit of a shake. Let's do a little bit of self-massage, which is quite nice, we haven't done for a while. Just tapping, excuse me, before I even start tapping. Coughing, just tapping gently. You can use your fingers, you can use the tips of your fingers, or you can use your knuckles a little bit, just tapping each side of your sternum, of your breastbone. And here it's quite nice just to take that calm, full breath in and let go. One or two of those if you feel you need it. You can do a little hold at the top of the breath as well. And then we'll do the arms, so just lightly down the inside of the arm and then coming back up the outside of the arm, go into that shoulder and then again. I haven't done this for a while actually, it's quite nice. Gets the blood flowing, get some good lymphatic drainage going on. And then let's go the other side. Just be careful if you've got rings on or watches on or anything. Definitely need it in my shoulders, I can really feel that. Do one more down the arm. could spend all morning doing that on my shoulders. Good, let's go lower back. Go either side of the spine. You can use your knuckles. Make sure you're not on the spine. Just go either side of the spine, up and down the lower back there. Just breathing easy. And then we can get into the glutes. That's quite a nice one. Get into your glutes. And then we'll go down the back and the side of the legs. And then coming up the inside of the legs. And then a good knocking in the hips. Get right in that hip fold. Again, think of that lymphatic drainage, getting the blood flowing. Glutes, back and side of the legs. Up the inside of the legs. Into the hips. One more down the legs. Back and side of the legs. Inside of the legs. Hips. And then just very gently, just round the tummy. Just gently on the tummy. Soften the tummy, let it bounce. Good. And take a rest for a moment. Just feel the sensations. It should feel really nice. And then we'll have a little bit of a shake. So using the legs as pumps, and then using the arms, shaking the wrists. If it's comfortable for you, tapping the heels into the ground. And then you really get that nice vibration going through the bones, all the way through the body. And again, we can do another, if you feel for it, another cleansing and clearing breath. A nice calm, full breath in through the nose. And and then slow it down, and stand. Nice, good. Should feel good. So a little bit of a warm up, a little bit of mobilization. Let's do a little bit of stretch and strength. So let's go wide again on the feet. So hip and a half width apart. And then with this one, we're dropping the center of gravity. It's not a squat, so we're not tilting into a squat. So you're literally imagining you've got a little bit of weight on your tailbone, dropping the center of gravity. Those knees, watch the knees go over the toes. Watch that your knees aren't dropping in. So just go as comfortable as you can, dropping your center of gravity. And then pushing up, using the ground to come up to stand. and really feel the hips working. So you can do engaging or really activating your glute muscles. Create a little bit of tension as you push up from the ground. So you can almost like squeeze the muscles around the bone without going into cramp, because if you squeeze too much you might get a little bit of cramp. But you can almost like squeeze the muscles. You can squeeze the calf muscles, you can squeeze the thighs, you can squeeze the glutes as you come up to standing. Straighten the legs as you stand. Lower. Again, it's nice and open in the hips here. Just go to a comfortable depth. Remember, all of this stuff, even if you're doing strength work, even if you're doing stretching work, you're not losing control of the breath, because if you lose control of the breath, you lose control of the movement. Be in control of this movement that you're doing. And once we've got that sort of like movement sus there, the strength element sus there, let's do a little bit of stretching through the upper body. So as you lower down, you push everything away to the sides. And then we come back as we stand up. And as you lower, push away. Stretching out those arms, stretching the fingers pointing towards the sky. Just watching those knees gliding over the toes. And if you want to challenge yourself going a little bit lower, it's absolutely fine, making sure that everything feels comfortable, everything feels strong. Stretching out the arms. Really flexing the fingers up towards the sky. Do a couple more. And then take a rest. You can walk your feet back in for a moment, give your legs a little bit of a shake out if you need to. So I like that because it combines that strengthening of the hips, using the legs, really strengthening the lower body, but then getting a nice stretch through your arms, keeping that upper body nice and light and tall as well. Going back out to that hip width and a half apart, a little bit of bend in the knees, pressing the palms together, heart to sky. So just opening up, lifting the heart up to the sky, breathing in, and then breathing out. So it's like bowing to the ground and then lifting your heart to the sky. So the idea with this one is keep watching, keep doing the movement, but we're getting the movement here through this upper spine, not just tilting everything back here. So not over compressing the lower back, really opening up the chest, opening up the throat. And again, using the ground nice and stable on the ground. And then taking a rest. Just watch me go into position for this next one and then we'll do it together. So we turn out one foot to the side and then we turn that other foot in slightly. So you've got slightly angled in about 45 degrees. We bend that front knee. Now we want to bend that front knee and make sure it doesn't go too far over the ankle. So if it's going quite a way over the ankle to keep this back leg straight, just make that stride a little bit wider, but make sure you're balanced. So we can get a lowering of the hips and then you can do a straightening of that leg. So let's just have a little go at that one. So you've got one foot turning out facing ahead of you. And then you've got the other foot about 45 degrees. This back leg is straight. as you lower, and then straighten this front knee. It doesn't have to be too wide, so again, be at your own comfortable stride width. Lower, don't have to go too low, we don't want that knee going too far forwards. Use this leg, straighten that leg, feel how this hip is working here. Lower, get that nice length through the hip back there, straighten. And then let's put some upper body into this. So palms together here, facing the front when your legs are straight, and then arms come out, looking over that forward arm as you lower, and then straightening the legs, coming back, palms to center. And again, lower, nice strong lengthened arms, back. Thing to watch out for on this one, it's very tempting when we go forward, is to lean forwards with the upper body. So start to overreach. Don't overreach, just lower, and then use that front leg to bring yourself back. So watch that you're not overreaching, you're just lowering. Put all that weight, all that strength through the lower body. It's just like you've got your upper body sat on top of the hips, and all you're doing is lowering the hips, lowering your centre of gravity. You feel that front leg working, that front hip working. Make sure that front knee is gliding over the toe. Let's do a couple more. Really have some purpose and some strength in those arms as you stretch them out, front and back, keeping the shoulders down as well. And then we come back to center. Let's do about 3 heart to skies just to rebalance in the center. I like that idea of throat, opening the throat as well here. Let that throat open and lift. And then we'll go to the other side. So turn the other foot out, 90 degrees, that's right, isn't it? 90 degrees, yeah. Then the other foot in about 45 degrees. Just get that depth so that the knee is just over the ankle, not too far forward. You're getting that nice, you want to feel a nice stretch through that back hip here. Keep the hips almost like facing forwards as much as you can. Keep that back leg straight as well. And then you're in that position there. Just have a few little lowers and straightens. And then we'll put the upper body in. So you want to keep that upper body here facing forward. So we're really working the hips here. So we're not going this way with the upper body. Upper body is almost like facing as much forward as possible. And then you lengthen, keeping that upper body facing as forwards as possible. Use that front leg to push yourself back up. And then just find your flow. If you have any pain, if you're holding the breath, just make it a smaller movement, a smaller stance, a smaller depth. The one thing I really stress is that it's not about trying to look like anybody else or forcing any movement. So you look over that front arm, you look to where you are going, that front arm, and then when you come back to center, you look towards your camera, your computer. So thinking about that strength in the hips. Let's do a couple more in your own time. And then when you've done that, just bringing the feet a little bit closer together. Finishing that little sequence with 3 heart to skies again. Opening up the chest. Nice, good. And then take a rest, bring your feet back in, give your legs a little shake. You should feel as if you've really worked the hips, strengthened, but also mobilized the hips as well. Got the hips moving, hip sockets working. Let's do the open the flow, but with that drop, which is quite nice. So it's not the tiger where we're going down and coming up. It's almost like the opposite of the tiger. So as the arms flow up, you go into a little bit of a squat. As the arms float down, you come up to standing. So there's that little bit of weight shift onto the heels. And then as you come up to standing, there's that little bit of weight shift onto the balls of the feet. And if you just go a little bit, you don't have to do a deep one. You can just do it like this. You can just drop a little bit. But still keep that nice fluid flow movement. Still think of it as a Qigong flow movement. So nice and slow, slow coming back, slow coming up to standing. Breathing in as the arms flow up. Breathing out. When you come up to standing on the next one, take it into pulling down the heavens. So you come up to standing and then pulling down the heavens. Let's do 3 pulling down. Moving into, at the end of your third one, moving into bamboo in the wind. Bringing your feet together. Taking your time, closing your eyes. And then when you're ready, taking a fuller breath in, opening your eyes at the top of the breath. Stepping out, giving yourself gentle brush down. Good. Good. Lots of work going on there. Hopefully that has set you up for the day, whether you're going to work now, whether you're going out running now, or going out to do some exercise now, or whether you're just enjoying yourself in Turkey now. So yeah, it looks wonderful. Have a brilliant time, have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday. It is Thursday today. I have to think what day it was then. I'll see you on Tuesday for the breathwork. Have a good day. Thanks for joining.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Enjoy yourselves.
Bye.
And you. Bye bye.